apocalypse, Mr. Manheim.
Who are you?
Your new lord and master. You may call me
Superman, Superman, wanna be like Superman.
Hey, Bemmers. Week 3 of Supermanuary here on Dark Side's Couch. This is James.
This is Mike. Who the fuck is that?
I'm Shée.
This is the Kinks.
Dude, this song rips.
Yeah, wish
Yeah.
I could fly like Superman. Yeah. It's 6
Dang.
minutes long.
Yeah, the answer to that is ketamine.
All right. Well, I think that's the quickest we've gotten into the drug references in the course of the show.
Hey, you can get it prescribed by a doctor now. Now it's medicine.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. It's crossed the threshold.
It goes from horse tranquilizer to human psychedelic drug to psychiatric medicine.
Yeah. Then it becomes required by the government. You have to have it. They
I
start
wouldn't
putting in
want
the
that. I wouldn't
vaccines.
want that. I don't like. I've done it like ketamine before. I don't know how the hell that's helpful to your mental state.
That's for horses, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Is it a horse tranquilizer? Yeah.
But in the human bloodstream, it acts as a psychedelic.
Much like listening to the Kinks.
Yeah, or Dark Side's Couch.
Yeah. It's Supermanuary.
It sure is.
We're into our third week of Superman comics.
It's been a rousing success.
It's been a massive success, which is strange considering that as of recording this episode, none of the episodes have actually been released yet. But I'm
Nope.
assuming that by the time this is out, it has been a massive success. Everyone's talking about it.
I think it's good because we put off Superman for so long, and now we're getting like all of it at once, so we can really appreciate it.
You're getting just a ketamine dose of Superman directly into your bloodstream.
It's an IV drip.
Yeah. Kryptonite, ketamine, same thing.
As we know, the idea of Superman drip is wearing a top hat with a cane in your Superman costume.
He looked so good in that
He
outfit.
did. He did.
I miss when rich
With
people.
his Rolls Royce.
It's Rolls Royce.
With his logo on it. Don't forget
Jenkins's
Jenkins.
chauffeur.
Hold on to my hat, Jenkins. For they are not indestructible like the
that. Do you
rest
think
of my
Jenkins
outfit.
and Alfred hung out?
Yeah.
Sure, they share buttling tips.
They smoke weed together.
Yeah, that's what they're into. I think I've got a bong thing here. There we go. Yeah, I miss the days when rich people would wear clothing to let you know they were rich, and now you see like Jeff Bezos in like a tech vest, and you're like, dude, we know you can afford
one of the
top hat.
what is it, the Kardashians wearing a red NWO shirt.
Yeah, stop it. Stop trying to relate. All right, you're on
That
another
shirt is
planet.
awesome.
We all
I
know
wish
it.
I had a red NWO. If any listeners want to send me a red NWO shirt, that would be awesome.
You get a screen press, make your own.
Wait, New World Order, like the wrestlers, or like
Yeah, like the
what
wrestlers.
Bush created,
No,
or
no,
like the
no.
conspiracy?
No, like the WCW Wolfpack NWO.
Okay.
Or how about NWA, the rap troupe?
I can't wear that shirt because it has the N word in it.
Did I say rap troupe?
You
Yeah.
did.
They're
Like
true.
Yeah, I guess technically they are, but it makes it
Yeah.
sound like they're sketch comedians.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
it made you sound super duper out of touch with it.
well with the Wu-Tang you have to say Clan.
You do have to say Clan. I bought several Public Enemy albums. I have.
Uh-huh.
Don't make me prove it. I have them. I can pull
No,
them
that's
up.
cool. I totally believe you.
I do. It took a nation of millions to hold them back.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. But really it was time. Time was the thing that held them back the most.
Oh, it really does. It really does stop everything, doesn't it?
Except
this is
Superman,
not-
he just spins the earth back.
We've spent a lot of time talking about the last episode, which was also an Action Comics episode. This is not. We didn't upload the wrong file. This is not last week's episode. This is Action Comics number 381 from 1969, just a few years after 337 that we did last week. So
The wheel provides.
the wheel provides, and we'll see how this sort of how Superman has evolved over the past 3 years since the last issue.
Not much.
Not much. And I'll say there's two stories here, and this Superman story is the only thing standing between us and the greatest Legion of Superheroes story ever told.
Oh my God, yes.
I
I
couldn't have
barely
been
want
more
to talk
pleased.
about Superman
Yeah.
here.
Fuck
I got
this.
the Legion of Superheroes thing is perfect for me because it talks about the class issues and money and being a simp.
It's incredible. It
It
wedged
is.
everything in. And I've got some background that will maybe help contextualize that story. But oh my God, it's like they wrote it for us.
Yeah, they did. This Superman story too. They wrote for us.
The Superman story is fine. It's fine. It's what I expected. It's the same typical thing. If Superman does something unconventional and we find out it was because somebody was infecting him, and then we just move on from it. That's pretty much the story. We don't even need to cover it.
The
Yes, we
Superman
do.
is the salad before we get to the entree here.
Yeah.
all right.
You know what? Calling it the entree, like that's a good way to segue into it, considering the character involved.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Stay tuned for the Legion of Superheroes to figure out what the hell that meant. I just got it. This Superman story, though, that we're going to kick off with is called The Dictator of Earth, written by the great Leo Dorfman, who we've been seeing a lot from lately.
Yep, he goes golfing sometimes.
Art by, Jesus Christ. Art by Kurt Swan, once again, and George Roussos?
Dorfman Swan, the greatest combination.
Dorfman, the Dorfman Swan combo. I mean, look, if I was 12 years old when this came out, I may have been entertained by it. I could see that.
If they were in the Legion of Superheroes, they'd be Dwarf Boy and Swan Boy.
Well, I think it would be Dwarfman and Swan Boy. One
No,
of them's
I
gotta be
think
the
it
man.
would be Dwarfboar and Swan Man.
Oh, if they were in the Legion, though.
Yeah, if they're in the
Okay.
because they're all children there because they don't have those labor laws and those pesky labor laws in the future. It's good to see that the libertarians got all that taken care of in the past, so that the future children can be working.
There are no unions in the future.
Absolutely not. They're legions, though.
Yes.
The world the Legion of Superheroes occupies is baffling to me, but I guess
It's pretty terrifying.
It's not just terrifying, but it's anachronistic, but it's also future. It's very, very strange. We'll get to
It's
that.
it's like a worst case scenario for a lot of stuff.
God, I want to talk about it so badly.
We'll
All right,
get
we're gonna
there.
get to it. We're gonna get to it. But on this cover here, we've got a Kurt Swan Murphy Anderson cover, looking very nice.
Cool. Look how ripped Superman is.
That's the first thing I noticed when we looked at this cover is that it's only been 3 years since the last issue, but it looks way more dynamic. Superman looks more ripped, a little more realistic. He looks great.
He's on roids now.
He's what you actually, Shea, I will say, due to the fact he is heavily muscled but not super big, I'd say he's aesthetically perfect.
He might be the perfect man.
Like, I don't think he doesn't have a steroid physique. He's just really lean right now.
This is the ideal male form. You may not like it, but this is peak performance.
Yep, he's aesthetic.
See, you say that he's not big, but I think it's more that the suit is super tight.
Yeah, what's a super suit? That's why he wears it with top hats and shit.
Dude, I have to say, you still got to have the muscles to pull it off. I have a compression top that makes me look like a lard ass when I put it on. And I feel so bad because I have some abs, I have some definition, and I put on this compression top, and I'm like, what the hell is that? What is wrong with me? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I have the opposite problem where I'll wear like a tight t-shirt and I will look jacked beyond belief, and I'll take it off and I won't look ripped at all.
Yeah, it's clothing makes the man, makes the Superman.
It's so weird.
I'm just noticing this now. So on this cover, Superman is at the UN, and he's decided to plant the Superman flag in place of all the other flags. And you'll see he's gone in the background. He's knocked down a bunch of other nations' flags. He's left the American flag standing, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the UN flag.
Well, you know what? Fuck those
He
guys.
doesn't. Well, he doesn't in the actual comic. He knocks everything down.
does.
I think.
He
So I think
does.
it was probably a comics code. Yeah, no, you're not knocking down the American
What flags
flag.
did he
Yeah,
leave
I
up,
could agree
though?
with that. The UN flag and the American flag.
No, there's two more.
But
There's-
they're
there's-
broke, but they're bending. I think this is the Italian flag. Is this not? Or no, this might be the Mexican flag.
Oh, there you go. Base
I think it's the Mexican flag, and so it's bent. So it's not broken, but it's bent to let them know that like they're on the bubble. You're
Yeah,
okay,
like-
but
yeah, they're all right for now.
don't fuck up again.
Yeah.
And then this is it's 2 green stripes and an orange stripe. I don't
even
know
what that is.
I don't know what that is. That's kind of barely hanging on. The Japanese flag is bent to shit.
That's not even the Japanese flag that existed at that time.
Well,
That was the World War II Japanese flag, the rising sun.
oh, is it really? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
they didn't have that after World War II. I don't
Oh,
think.
wow. Well, I mean, maybe that's why he took it down. He was angry that they weren't updating the flag at the UN.
Right. Yeah, you guys weren't cool in 1940.
And then there's this. I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's yellow and blue.
I don't know what that is either.
I'm not seeing this flag exist.
You're looking for him?
I looked up flag 2 green stripes, 1 orange, and
Wonder if Google Lens can tell me. Google Lens is pretty incredible. It finds a lot of things that I otherwise wouldn't.
I
find.
found Google Lens to be a huge pain in the ass when I'm like cutting out images for YouTube. That
How
shit
are you
fucks
using
me.
Google Lens? You don't have a smartphone.
It's on It's on your desktop too.
You know, I've had it work on some pretty incredible stuff. It did not work on this. So,
Yeah, whatever.
all right. Well, then we don't know what flag that is.
It's not
It might
real.
just be made up, I guess.
It's fake
Yeah, it
news.
might be.
Like
It
all
is fake news.
countries. There's
Fake
no
country.
countries.
Fake country.
Everyone who gets on a plane goes to another country. First, they're gassed till they fall asleep, and then they're brainwashed to believe they went on vacation. Earth is flat.
I think it's a Far Side cartoon as well.
Yeah, I think it's an anime too, like a really old anime.
All right, let's get into this. I'm ready for this. So, Superman, we get this splash page that lets us know how the story's going to shake out. And Superman has knocked over the Statue of Liberty and replaced it with a giant statue of himself.
And Superman in this image is 60.
He's feeling the years a little bit.
Look at that. He's got a turkey neck.
What I like here is that Superman.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I have to go back. The green, white, and red striped flag.
That's not
Is-
Mexico?
Germany? North
Really?
Rhine?
Are you sure we had to go back? Because it doesn't sound like we're sure about this.
No, this is.
Or that
it's
we
the
needed
flag.
to go back.
But it's a flag that I don't think has been in use for a long time.
That's
Are
what
you- are
Superman
you
was
sure?
doing. He was just updating the flags.
Oh, you know what? The Mexican flag
Yeah.
is the same colors, but they go in the other direction,
Yep.
which makes me think it's the Italian flag.
Let's look up the Italian flag then. Nope.
Also the same colors, but
Because
no,
it's
you know
the
what?
vertical versus horizontal lines.
Yeah, it's like outer limits.
All right, I don't know. I don't know about these flags.
I'm not sure about these flags.
Fuck your flags.
Yeah, flags are stupid.
Yeah, flags are dumb. Stop
Nationalism is
celebrating things.
stupid.
If you flip it and it's red, white, and green,
don't
it's
think
Hungary.
I don't think the artists know about flags.
This is a great conversation for an audio medium. Discussing the orientations of flags. I
Cut
don't
it.
know.
Just cut it out then.
You know, I'm trying.
And we're back.
I'm trying to not have to cut so much, so we'll see. We'll see how that works out. What I like about the splash page, though, is that Superman has knocked over the Statue of Liberty, but he just left it on Ellis Island.
Yeah, he just lets you know that how he feels about it.
He could have thrown it into the ocean or something, but instead, now they got to figure out how to get this statue off Ellis Island.
Yeah, Superman's like solution to a lot of problems is throw it into the ocean.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm sure
pretty good
Aquaman
solution.
fucking loves that.
Yeah. He gets a little testy about it sometimes, but whatever. He
Yeah,
can't be
sometimes
watching
it's like
the whole thing.
we're supposed to understand that other superheroes exist alongside Superman, but then we read all these stories where it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Not back in these days. They weren't really doing that at the unless they were explicitly showing up in each other's comics. It was kind of accepted that they're all in their own universes.
Considering how erratic he's been in the last two comics we did, I think all the other guys are just avoiding him.
That's also possible as well. They all just stick to their own books.
They're like, yikes!
I don't wanna know
wanna
what's going on
Like,
over
what are you
there.
gonna do, right?
Yeah, you can't stop them. You just gotta let them do it.
I didn't notice the Statue of Liberty laying down behind the statue of Superman. I didn't even notice that till you brought it up.
He just knocked it over and left it there on Ellis Island.
I wonder why the base of
He could have just reused that.
I wonder why the base of the Statue of Liberty is that weird shape. Like, what Freemasonry is that?
I don't know. Yeah, you're not going to be able to channel satanic powers with that.
Yeah,
you need a
right.
pentagram. Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's a extra large pentagram.
Yeah.
It's got
some
more
sort of
points for more magic.
some sort of fifth dimensional pentagram. Yeah.
Our tiny brains can't comprehend.
I mean, I guess as soon as you put more than 5 points on it, it's no longer technically a pentagram.
Nope. It's it's a pentagram plus.
So, that's the demonic streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, pentagram plus. Fuck
It's
yeah,
commercial
dude.
free.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep,
Dark
yep,
Side's
yep.
Couch soon to be on pentagram plus.
Yep, we're on their launching platform.
Pentagam is your evil grandmother.
All right. So here we are.
I
and
like it.
All right. So Superman's at his Fortress of Solitude, and he's monitoring the news, and apparently he's been going on a super vandal spree, just destroying things throughout the world,
Yes.
as he does. And he's sweating about it because he doesn't seem to be denying any of it. He seems like he's regretful, he's guilty, but he's not denying it.
I like how he doesn't really do anything wrong. He just like wrecks some stuff, and his first thought is like superpower suicide.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, he does.
It's another instance like in our last comic of where he's just feeling compelled to do shit.
This is a common thing. See, this is why Mike loves these comics all of a sudden, but I've tried to explain, like, once you've done a few of them, you start realizing they're the same comic over and over. That's the problem.
Well, no, the first one we did, he split into two people and solved all of existence's problems.
Right. That's why it was an imaginary tale.
All right, that one was great. But then after that, he went insane.
Yes. Most of the stories are like this. This is the same problem I have with the Silver Age Batman stories. They're fun to read one or two, or to watch one or two episodes of the Adam West Batman show, but then you start realizing, oh, they're pretty much exactly the same.
Well, here it's like Superman is accused of crimes. He goes, shit, I don't remember doing it. I guess
Probably
I did.
Who else would have? Who else could have possibly done these horrible things?
He's just so sad about all of this. Like he wants to be punished.
Well, he loves his planet.
But here he's just like, he has something called gold kryptonite or gold K, which I call the really good ketamine.
Yeah.
And this will erase, he even writes it on the box, danger, gold kryptonite inside will erase superpowers permanently. How does he know that?
What are you talking about? Because he knows what gold kryptonite does. It's
right,
been
but
studied.
But if he's the only Kryptonian, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And if he saw what that does to him, then he wouldn't have powers now.
Well, you know what? They always, and I've mentioned this before, it really annoys me that they call Superman the last son of Krypton. They make a big deal about it all the time. And then as time goes on, we find out that thousands of people are still alive from Krypton. The entire bottle city of Kandor, Supergirl made it. His dog's still around. He may not have been Kryptonian.
What's with the dog, though? Do they have dogs on Krypton?
No, actually, I think that may have been an actual dog that got hit with some sort of power. I don't remember the secret origin of Krypto. I don't care about Krypto. But like General Zod, and then they brought back Superman's dad. It's like, did anybody die when Krypton exploded? Did anyone die at all?
James, if you die before me on your grave, it's going to have James, and it's going to have a quote that says, "I don't care about Krypto."
Yeah, I don't. Well, let's be very clear about it. I'm only talking about the dog. The currency, I'm all in on.
James the podcaster, he didn't care for Krypto.
No. I don't want anything fungible in my life.
Then there's an image of you looking like Superior. Too good for Krypto.
I'm assuming
that'll be an anti-campaign ad for James. It'd be like, James the podcaster, too good for Krypto.
In black and white.
In black and white. Pay for
Then the
Baby
next
Pritzker.
commercial is for his own NFT.
Yeah, his pro. James is too good for Krypto. Like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes. I've superseded the value of crypto. My point is, I think they probably use the gold kryptonite on some Kandorian or something, and they
so if Superman has gold kryptonite and he's got all those Kryptonian prisoners in the Phantom Zone that are trapped in a perpetual hell, why doesn't he release them and just take away their powers and let them live on Earth?
That's a good idea. He probably should do that.
Yeah, because like what he's doing now is like cruel.
Yeah, he's a monster.
It's not like he's robbing them of something. Like when they lived on Krypton, they didn't have any powers anyway.
Yeah, but they lived amongst Kryptonians who are awesome. They don't want to live around humans, plebeians.
Hey, that's how I feel.
Yeah, it's rough. I hate these guys.
Well, and it's not that they're trapped alone. They're trapped with each other. It'd be different if you were alone.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, there will be other Kryptonians. There'll be the other depowered criminal Kryptonians.
I want to get to this Legion story so badly, and we're on page 2 of the Superman story, and
there's
it's
just a lot
me.
to decompress. All right,
There's
a lot
so
to talk
much
about.
more in the back half of this book. All right. So Superman decides, no, I'm not gonna take away my powers. They're my powers. I can do whatever I want. He slams the door to the Fortress of Solitude so hard that it causes rubble and debris to fall, and the door itself to warp.
And knocks the Earth out of orbit, freezing the humans.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty brutal. Well, he says, I'm sick of being a namby-pamby do-gooder.
Based.
So now he's going to do whatever he wants.
He should have been doing that all along.
He's learning his lesson.
Wait till
get
the
into
world
his
sees
60s.
my next evil super deed.
Yeah, so now I'm going to give it away a little bit here. It turns out that Superman is actually not evil. He's putting on a work. But here, he's flying through the sky, and it's his own internal monologue saying, wait till the world sees my next evil super deed.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's he talking to?
I noticed this too.
What is he talking about? What's going on here?
Maybe he's just having fun with it.
You know, if you got to do it anyway, you might as well have a good time.
So here we see, like, at the UN, there's these two people, like, watching Superman. There was, like, a blonde guy in his Superman costume and a brunette woman wearing a Superman costume, but her Superman symbol is green. Who the fuck are these people?
These are the Superman Revenge Squad. They are...
They're called liquidators, though.
No, I think the effect we. Oh yeah, they are the liquidators. I think the liquidators is like the Navy SEALs of the.
Who the fuck are the Where are they from?
All right.
Why are they dressed as Superman?
All right, hang on now. The Superman Revenge Squad is a gang of villains who hold grudges against Superman and have decided to get together and work together to bring him down. They wear Superman costumes to mock him, and their Superman emblems are actually kryptonite. They're glowing.
Oh, I see. Are they Kryptonians? I guess not if they got kryptonite shields.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. Although one of them is named Dorks. D-O-R-X.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
saw that
pretty good.
too.
And he goes fishing and he walks on his knees.
Yep, I was about to make the joke too, and this is Dorks on Superman.
Dorks on Revenge.
Dorks on liquidation.
Yeah, Revenge of the Dorks.
All right. Dumb. So they're watching Superman go to the UN building. They're having a great time, and we realize that, the Superman Revenge Squad exposed him to red kryptonite, which caused him to act erratically and do all kinds of stuff and caused him to black out and all kinds of things. And so that's what really happened, that everyone believes Superman committed all these crimes.
When Superman gets to the UN, he flies by the circle of flags and sticks his hand out, chopping down all the flagpoles. When I was a kid, I pretended to be able to do that.
It's a pretty incredible move.
I love the fact that he chops down all the flagpoles and then goes full millennial / full grandma and knits a new flag.
Full pentagram.
Yeah, let's be...
Full pentagram. Also, Dork Side's couch.
Dork Side's couch. All right, I like that. I'll give you one of those. It's good for that. I want to be clear here. Superman decides to knit his own super flag using the previous flagpoles that he'd knocked down, which are as if they're like knitting. What are they called, Shée? What are they called? Knitting
needles.
Needles.
Yeah.
Which also suggests that the flags were just planted in like stakes, and they didn't have like plates, foundations, and bolts like every other flag I've ever seen.
Right.
Yep.
They just stuck these ones in.
Yep.
And the flags are knittable.
And they are knittable, so he's knitted them together.
Yeah, he said he shredded them all into ribbons.
Oh, I
somehow,
see.
yeah, he
changed
somehow
their colors.
Yeah, somehow changed their colors. Somehow gotten the ribbons so small that it can work as thread to a point of where you can make out an image.
He is Superman. I mean,
I like the fact that the other people from the UN are looking on, just realizing they're completely impotent in this situation.
This is weaving. This is weaving that he's done, and they look at it as knitting. It's
this
wrong.
comic doesn't.
This comic.
This comic doesn't get any better. I'm gonna be weaving.
All right.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Superman.
We're adorable this week.
That's different.
So Superman plants his flag and decides that he's taking over the whole world. There's nothing anybody can do about it. And
He's right to do it. Look how we're running the world. He's clearly the best guy for the job.
We've had a lot of dictators and we've survived. So whatever, give him a chance.
He's smarter than everyone by like 1 million. He can do anything, and he is going to live like 10 times longer than anyone else.
Yeah, and he's got great abs.
So he can like have plans that last longer than a human lifetime.
Yeah, he can really think about the long con here.
He should be in charge.
Yeah.
So
he should plant that pole and then just pole dance on it, just as an ultimate.
Yeah, he kind of is.
I am in I own this.
He looks like he's Mario sliding down the pole after grabbing the flag.
Yeah, he does.
Doodly doodly doo doo.
So the Superman Revenge Squad mentions that, now Superman's just actually doing this stuff. Like, we didn't expect that to happen, but cool, bonus.
They're like, all right.
And somewhere Lex Luthor's just screaming, I told you.
Mm-hmm. I think he'd be like, shit. He's like taking the cyanide pill out of a box.
Yeah.
I got no
Or
point
again,
to my
they'd be
life.
calling Lex Luthor and saying, okay, you were right. Well, look, you do your thing.
He's like, what do we do? He's like, shit, nothing.
It's too late now, bitch.
You can't stop him.
And he's like, if there was a way to do it, don't you think I would have done it?
So he then turns himself in. Superman turns himself in. He says, put me on trial. I think I'm guilty. Let's go ahead and prove that I'm guilty, right?
They're like, yeah, you're guilty. We just saw you knock down all those flagpoles.
I don't really understand. Well, technically that part is just kind of vandalism.
So like what happened? So like he declares himself emperor of the world, but then he like comes to?
Yeah, he comes to. He says, what happened? Where am I? Although I think this is all a work at this point.
Ketamine.
This is all a work. No. This is part of the work. Ketamine wouldn't even affect him. He wouldn't even feel it.
If it's gold
that good
K,
stuff?
it will.
If it's gold K.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, the Superman Revenge Squad decides to go to the Fortress of Solitude because I guess they know Superman's not home. So just whatever. Let's go
Are
hang
they
out there.
aliens?
I think yes. Yes. I can't imagine they're Kryptonian.
Yes,
because
they go back to another planet.
Because they're just sexy humans.
Well, so are Kryptonians.
That's true.
Well, all aliens are based on sexy humans because we're all made in the image of God.
There you go.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
And God
Thank you,
does
Shée.
God does look like an American.
We're recording on a Sunday.
The holiest of days.
The holiest of days, Bobby. My Hank Hill impression gets worse and worse as time goes on. Like, it used to be really good, and now it's just shit.
Maybe you should give it a rest.
You know what?
Fuck you, dude.
I just hit all my Hank Hill buttons and none of them work because I remapped everything.
Yes!
And I've been sitting here for 30 seconds trying to get Hank Hill to say something. I can't do it.
The Superman Revenge Squad came into James's apartment and changed all the buttons.
I paid
Moved
them
all my
off,
buttons.
guys.
Fuck. I'm getting all these.
Shay's a
yellow
liquidator.
exclamation points.
Yeah, Shay's what was it? An eliminator, a liquidator?
Liquidator.
Yeah. So they arrive at the Fortress of Solitude and they decide, well, I guess we'll monitor this from here because as we've learned in the 60s, everyone has monitors on everything everywhere.
And Superman knocked the door down, so they can just go in now.
They just walk right in. There's a big hole.
Which means he's letting the heat out.
And it's got to be expensive.
Dude, that gas bill, the North
Dude,
Pole.
it's-
Well, not anymore. Now it's like 60 up there.
Yeah,
Wait, maybe he doesn't use heat because he just doesn't feel cold.
I'm thinking it's more likely that Superman caused global warming so that it he wouldn't have to
nicer.
heat that place.
You know what, like with global, like pretty soon, like when the ice caps finally finish melting, kids are going to know what the fuck this is all about. Because like Superman's going to live in like the frozen wastelands of the North Pole or wherever the fuck. And it's going to be just like, there's not going to be any ice there anymore.
It's going to be great. There's going to be just strip malls.
It would just be like the Crystal Palace he's got up there and you can see from space. There he is.
It's going to be Amazon depots and Tesla factories.
Yet they move in. They move
Yep.
into the Crystal Palace of Superman.
So Superman begins his trial, and he's telling them, look, I'm guilty. We don't even have to go through all this.
This guy's like, hey, Superman, I'm a dictator that was put in power by the CIA, and you killed all the people who tried to oust me, so I owe you big.
Oh, yeah. I
Like,
remember
yeah,
that.
I did that for Reagan.
Yeah, that was a good day.
Well, this
that
was
was really-
before Reagan.
Really good for me, Superman, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is pre-Reagan, but we all knew he was coming. We could feel it in the
I
air.
mean, come on now. It's the spirit of Reagan, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So then we have a delegate from Iraq saying that, hey, man, Superman came in and to our museum and he ripped the head off of our winged bull statue and put his own head on there instead.
That's so funny because, like, ISIS eventually did that.
Yes. Like, we're offended, but moreover, we're just wondering why he thought that was a cool thing to do.
We want to thank Superman for destroying the pagan idols that are keeping Allah from blessing our country.
And so then they have the head, and they're like, hey, here's the head that Superman ripped off. And look, his fingerprints fit right in. His handprint is right there on the head of this thing.
You know, that means that Superman just left it next to the statue that he vandalized, just like the Statue of Liberty.
That's what he does. Superman's not cleaning up.
No,
Wait,
he
so did
wants
the
people
statue
to know.
was the Statue of Liberty actually destroyed, or was that just a splash page to give us an idea of what was happening?
No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like it was.
So,
what
like,
I'm
does he ever go back to fix these things?
Nope.
Well, no, I'm saying I think what Mike is saying is in the context of the story after the splash page, do we ever see that Statue of Liberty thing?
Yeah,
I don't know that we do. So maybe
like-
No,
is
it's
that-
just implied that that's where the story starts.
it's a deleted scene.
Is that just so we're supposed to believe that the Statue of Liberty in the DC universe from now on is just Superman?
I hope so. I really hope
so
that's the
too.
case.
I'd like to think more that he went back after all of this, picked it back up, removed his statue, and that he just has a giant ass statue of himself now.
Right? He puts it in the Batcave next to the penny.
Next to the T-Rex.
What if he made like a compromise and put the Statue of Liberty head back up, or replaced the head with the Superman head?
Yes.
It's a good compromise. We do have to pay tribute to this man. He's better than
Like,
us.
hey guys, you know, I am the only protection you have against the fucking Sun Eater.
I think it's a small price to pay to put my face on the monument.
That's a pretty terrifying Superman villain, yeah, the Sun Eater. That's a pretty terrifying concept.
Superman has some pretty cool rogues. He has some pretty cool bad guys.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough credit for that, but like Mongol and Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite's great.
Oh, I have a fun fact about Parasite that's going to tie into our Legion of Superheroes story. Good at that, yeah.
Fantastic.
They're going through this trial and they're looking at all the various crimes he's committed. Did he put his own face on the quarter?
Yeah, he did, but you can't really tell the difference.
No, yeah, you really
He's just
can't.
a handsome dude in the 60s. That's all
He
it is.
replaced this white man with a different white man.
Did he? Everybody's confused in the
They're
jury.
like, they go, Kryptonians aren't white, though. They're like, yeah, that's true.
Not technically white. Then we see that he broke into. Did he break into a vault or something? He broke into the mint by slamming through the wall and leaving a Superman-shaped hole,
Like a cartoon.
like a cartoon.
Like the Kool-Aid Man.
Which means that this is how he broke in. He just had his legs straight down, his arms at his side, and he just went chest first through a wall.
That's how he was flying around. Just like,
it's weird.
there's nothing that says he has to be like a certain position to fly.
Yeah, he's equally powerful every part of his body.
In the panel with the giant dime that he defaced, it looks like the guy on the left is Henry Kissinger.
Oh yeah.
It absolutely could be.
Like, it's Henry Kissinger. There he is.
That's just how everyone looked at that time.
He's still wondering how he could fuck over South America some more.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, unfortunately, the war criminal Henry Kissinger is still alive.
So Superman is getting very frustrated about this, and he starts yelling at them that it's time to convict me. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty clear.
And I'll go to prison and not go crazy with red kryptonite anymore, I promise.
So when we find out that supposedly the Liquidators committed most of these atrocities, why is there still a Superman-shaped hole then? Because we're led to believe Superman didn't actually do this.
And how are the Liquidators able to do it? Do they also have Superman powers?
I guess so.
Like,
Well, the
they're
Superman
the
Revenge
ones
Squad.
that changed the Statue of Liberty? We saw Superman
We
do
saw
it.
Superman do it. This is a very confusing story.
I don't think they're doing any of it. I think what they've done is influencing him to do those things.
No, not really, because they say later on that they did it all.
He says, we knew about the blackout phase, the conscience syndrome. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I think Shée may be onto something because this is the blackout phase. So I think the red kryptonite made him black out and then do crazy things because he was all hopped up on red K.
You know, I understand that they have the different kryptonites because it like helps them write stories, but the different color kryptonites are stupid.
Why? What's wrong with different color crew? You also had a problem with different colored lanterns too.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
You just hate expanding mythos.
No, it's just like, come up with something else. Like, that's lazy.
Fine.
God, choking on my own rage here.
They want to convict. The Superman Revenge Squad is watching all of this through the monitors in the Fortress of Solitude for some bizarre reason. Don't know why they want to watch from there.
Yeah, but little do they know, Superman is his own monitor. Like, he pretty much can look in any direction and see whatever he wants.
Right, he has omnivision. So here we start to get an idea of what's going on. And Superman says, hey, can we go out to the plaza to continue the trial out in the plaza? And the chairman says, well, what are we going to do? Tell you no? So I guess that's what we're doing. We're having trial out in the plaza.
Yep.
So
like, we're technically your prisoners, Superman. I mean,
we're powerless in this situation.
if he breathes too hard, he'll
see that
freeze the
gun.
room.
Yes. This trial is a farce.
Like, we're only doing this because you're making us do this trial, Superman. Like, we're terrified of you.
It's trying to get your weird jollies on this.
Like, we burn to death if you look at us too hard.
You know, I heard that, I guess Superman just wanted to be treated normally for once, and I heard that Michael Jackson once bought out a grocery store and paid people to pretend to just be normal patrons there so that he could pretend to shop like a normal person once.
Oh, you know, I heard about that.
That's what Superman's doing here. He just wants to be treated like a normal human being.
He just wants to cosplay as a human.
As he looks at everything.
You can't stop it.
This is what the song Common People is about.
That song rips.
It does.
So Superman looks up at the ball at the top of his Superman flag, and it's connected to Telstar, which I guess is his satellite.
Yeah.
Which is connected back to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yep.
And it turns out that through this, he's planted a receiver in the flag so that he could then hear what was going on in the Fortress of Solitude.
Because he assumed that his enemies were going to go into this Fortress of Solitude, and that's why he destroyed the door?
So
well, in theory, he could have heard them talking.
Oh, sure, he could hear anything.
And this
Well, I
is
guess
one of the
he
things
needed-
this is one of the issues I have with Superman comics, is that in theory he could fix this immediately, but this power, he just doesn't have this issue.
Yeah, I mean, the powers definitely did scale to fit the story, for sure.
Superman's all about dog and pony shows.
Yeah. Well, this isn't a modern problem, though. This is a Silver Age problem.
Like, he could have just ignored everyone being upset with him and just grabbed those two liquidators and threw them into space and just moved on.
Yeah, but then his reputation is still tarnished.
What negative effect will that have on his life?
I mean, he wants to be liked. Like
There you
all of
go.
us.
All right, that's the answer. That's
So follow Darkseid's Couch on YouTube and Twitter.
Yes, and Twitter.
So he hears the liquidators, they are the liquidators technically. He hears the liquidators confessing to everything, which they probably shouldn't have done. They shouldn't have been saying shit like that.
Which Superman hears and has a speaker on the pole as well, so everyone else can hear it.
No, I don't think there's a speaker on the pole, which is also weird because now it just looks like Superman's doing whatever he wants. Nobody hears it. What are you saying, Shée?
It does say in this part, though, that they did commit the crimes. So
Yes.
Mike remembered previously. Yes. So sorry, Mike, you were right.
Look at Mike reading the book and remembering.
This is it's a very confusing story.
I
read
must
it
have
a
had
couple
some red
times.
kryptonite because I'm acting out of character.
That wasn't kryptonite. That was the other K.
Oh, right. That was that good-ass gold K.
Yeah.
So Superman runs in and he intercepts these guys and he explained what happened, which is that, he was flying by Telstar and he saw that the Superman Revenge Squad had sabotaged Telstar and put some red kryptonite in there.
Right.
And that was making him act erratically.
Right.
So
for some reason.
So some other things happened. He mentions that when he slammed the Fortress of Solitude's door, an electronic security device broke off, and he can use that in his plan as if he couldn't have just taken it. Like, I don't understand why I had to break off of the door.
Right.
It's a very confusing plot.
Superman could also just fly to the planet where the Superman Revenge Squad live, and he could kill them from orbit.
Yes, he could just blast them out of space. He then implanted the security device from his door into Telstar, used his laser vision to melt some lead over the red K so that it wouldn't affect him anymore, and then pretended like he was still under the effect of the red K so that he could set up this flag so that he could hear the Superman Revenge Squad in the Fortress of Solitude confessing their crime.
Even though he already knew they were doing it.
Even though we already knew they were doing it, I had no reason to believe that they were going to be in the Fortress of Solitude.
Right.
And then we find out at the end, the best panel here is the UN says, "Hey, Superman, maybe you should stop those guys. They're just leaving." And Superman says, "Oh, don't worry about it. If you're a member of the Superman Revenge Squad and you fail in your mission, you have lifelong slavery imposed upon you."
Superman also sends them home by throwing their spaceship into space.
Is that what he's doing? I thought he was just waving goodbye.
No, he's tossing them into space, but in order to get enough speed
Yeah.
to throw a spaceship to another planet, the G's would destroy the
I
Earth.
was just going to say, the sonic boom would still be resonating through the world.
Well, it would be a light speed sonic boom.
Yeah.
So the planet would just be obliterated.
Would annihilate us. Well, I guess he just needs to. Maybe he's just trying to get the spaceship to reach escape velocity.
Yeah, they just freeze to death in space.
Yeah, just get them out of orbit. Well, it's either you freeze to death in space or you go back to your planet and you become enslaved.
Yeah, both are. Yeah, he's better off just going to their planet and just killing them all.
Yeah, I think you'd thank me.
I only like superheroes that kill their villains.
I know. Oh, believe me, I am aware of this.
Just kill those motherfuckers. They're gonna keep doing shit.
So luckily that's done.
Yep.
And moving on to really the meat of this.
Yes.
It's a story called The Hapless Hero, starring the Legion of Superheroes, written by, now this is back in the days before DC was putting the credits in their books, so I had no idea that this little tale was written by Mr. Jim Shooter.
All right.
Oh.
The Jim Shooter, Marvel editor-in-chief, 6'7" man mountain Jim Shooter. He started the Marvel New Universe. He guided Kickers Incorporated.
Fantastic.
He created Valiant Comics. Controversial guy. He was known for having a very strict editorial hand. He was also known for giving commission incentives to writers and illustrators if their books sold well. He also banned gay characters from Marvel Comics for a while. So, controversial guy.
How does he know which ones are gay?
Yeah, well, he has a list. He has great gaydar.
Like, they write the characters.
So,
What the fuck?
well, no, he was saying you can't make the character gay.
That's dumb.
Dude, it was a homophobic time. I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to give a full picture of a very complex figure.
I can't wrap my head around that. That just blows my mind that people care.
It was
Why
a
would,
different.
why would a straight man want less gay people? Now you have less competition for women.
Well, first of all, we're talking about fiction. Are we talking about fictional characters, or are we talking about actual real life homophobia?
I'm talking about actual real life homophobia. Like, I don't understand it. Like, why would you want more rivals for women?
I mean, I guess it's just you believe you're just that alpha.
Like, that's so dumb.
I don't
I'm
know.
like, yeah, be gay.
Are you seriously putting me in a
Awesome.
position to defend homophobia? Like I got to come on the pro of this?
Not only are there going to be less guys in general to pick up women, but they're going to convince other guys to be gay too.
Yeah, that's how it works. We're going to recruit them to their gay agenda.
Some of those gay guys are cute.
Of course they are.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to question some ideologies in the
Yeah.
old brain here.
There's a lot of beautiful gay men.
Dude.
Yeah. Point is, Jim Shooter wrote this, art by Win Mortimer and Jack Abel. But the reason this is notable is, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but Jim Shooter started writing comics at a very young age, 13.
Oh, no wonder he's homophobic.
So this is just me making assumptions here, but Shooter began sending in scripts to DC when he was 13, and at 14 they offered him a job writing Legion of Superheroes. All right.
Dang.
His family was struggling financially, which is part of the reason he pursued all this. Again, at the age of 14. With his first check from DC, he paid to have his father's car repaired so he didn't have to keep walking to his job every day. All right? So I think, as we'll see in the story, he's definitely projecting himself onto Matter Eater Lad in this story.
For sure.
But he was interested, even at the age of 14 years old, he was interested in injecting a lot more of the character-driven elements from the Marvel books into DC, which is where we start seeing a lot of the personal drama. But he's also coming from a position of a kid. He's seeing this as a kid, and so this is being written. I did the math on this, and this came out right after he turned 18, so he probably was 17 when he wrote this story.
I wonder if DC knew.
I don't know if they knew that when he was sending in scripts when he was 13, but by the time they offered him a job at 14, yes, because he and his mother went to New York to meet with DC. So by the time he was 14, they were like, okay, I guess.
That's something that'll only happen back then and now.
Yes.
No. We just talked about how in the future there's no unions and there's child labor. So really, the only times this happens back then and in the future.
1,000 more years.
Well, because of like TikTok and YouTube, like we have really young like superstars now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is
we
true.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they're
back
all-
then they just didn't care.
they're going to be super well adjusted.
Because back
and the
then you
other-
died at 35.
And the other thing, that is not true. That was only because so many children died at such a young age that it skewed the average life expectancy. And then once we started figuring out how to keep kids from dying in the first year of their life, the average life expectancy went way up.
Didn't we look up once like old like actors from like the 1930s and they were like they looked like they were 50 years old.
Yeah.
It turns out they were like
Yeah.
22.
Yep.
People were not moisturizing. You
What
got to
the
moisturize
fuck?
people. You got to moisturize now before it's too late because it's not going to matter once you have leather skin.
Cigarettes, constantly
Stop
drinking
that
hard
shit.
alcohol, and red meat for every meal.
Oh my God. You got to knock that shit off.
Can you
Also,
imagine drinking that much all the time?
I'll also say this, in like his 8th or 9th grade biology class, Jim Shooter got an idea for a little villain called Parasite.
Oh,
He
hey.
created
Okay.
Parasite when he was about 16 years old.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can Matter Eater Lad eat the sun?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is
Going
a
back
high,
to Sun Eater.
that is a high thought. Could
Well,
matter
like
either lad eat
the sun is made of matter, but it's also ignited, so it's mostly energy.
I think he would do it, but it would because I can't remember what it was, but he ate something radioactive and he went insane for a while. So he can do it, but it's going to have an effect on him. So I would assume it would
In
make him
the
very, very
Legion of
sick.
Superheroes cartoon, he ate. There's like a super villain group called the Frightful Four or Frightful 5
Mm-hmm.
and one of the characters was like a witch with like a magic eyeball, and he ate it and and it put him in a coma for like the rest of the season.
Yeah, so it still affects him. He can't.
Okay.
eat things. I guess we should give a little bit of context here. The Legion of Superheroes takes place in the year 3000. They're influenced by Superboy, and they decided to start their own superheroing group, I suppose you would say. And they're made up of a bunch of teenagers and young people, and they all have a unique power set, which means that they get increasingly ridiculous because only one person with one power can be in the team at a given time. So you end up with characters like eaterlad, who comes from a planet of people that have weird gut biomes and had to learn how to eat stones and shit like that.
So is he a human that is part of a group of colonists that went to the planet and then they changed because of the environment they were in?
No, he's
or
an
is
alien.
he an alien?
He's just a straight up alien.
Okay.
Straight up alien.
Because that'll happen. If you send a group of humans to a planet, they're going to adapt to that planet or they're going to die and they're going to change.
They're going to take over
so
that
I just
planet.
assumed, like, in the 1,000 years between now and when this comic takes place, a bunch of humans just got changed based on the planet they were on.
No, I mean, it's possible that that is the secret history of these planets and these civilizations and why they all look human. But as we're told at this time, no, he's just a flat out alien.
Okay. So, like, the romance in this comic is really gross.
I don't know if it's gross so much as it's just bizarre.
I mean, it's bestiality.
Oh, because they're alien. Well, I mean,
yeah,
I guess
they're not
if you're,
the same species.
I mean, but they don't. We're projecting our human concepts of what sex and romance should be. They're all
Right. In the year
aliens.
3000, they're going to hear this and call me a bigot.
Yeah. You weren't okay with them having sex with other species?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm a monster.
So problematic.
I'm sorry. But I deserve to be canceled in the year 3000
I mean,
for
by the
things I've done.
by the time this episode reaches these other planets, it will be the year 3000.
Oh my God, what they must think of me.
Yeah.
We are losing subscribers.
You're right on Planet Matter Eater Lad.
Yeah, I was playing the long con. I was hoping that we would get a lot of subscribers in the year 3000, and at the rate we're going, it's going to look good. Year 3000 is going to be a big one for us.
Got it.
Year 3000 is going to be huge.
It's going to be the year for Darkseid's Couch. I
Yep,
tell
it's
you
happening.
what.
It's happening.
The year
I'll tell
for
you
Dork
what.
Side's Couch.
Yeah.
And by then, Darkseid will be in the public domain and won't be sued anymore.
Yeah.
I told you I plotted all this stuff out from day one. I knew this was going to happen.
Oh, look at that big brain on James.
Big brains. So, oh God, where to even start with this?
I don't know.
we get a little splash page, and basically Shrinking Violet, one of the members of the Legion of Superheroes, is she's caught in a love triangle between Matter Eater Lad, who can eat matter, and Duplicate Boy, who can do anything.
Which seems like it completely negates what you just said.
Yes, about not having
Right.
the same power as somebody else.
Right. He kind of flies in the face of that. Actually,
Is he
I'm
in the
not-
Legion or is he
that's
just
the
a
thing is,
character?
He's not. I don't know if he's technically. I mean, I know he is later, but I'm not sure if he's technically a member of the Legion at this point. So maybe that's how they get around it. But truthfully, if you really want to get into the weeds about it, no, his power is to mimic other powers. That's not a duplicate of anybody else's power. That's not a. It's nobody else has that power.
And they're fighting over Shrinking Violet because she can make her vagina as tight as she wants.
And she loves that she's right in the middle of these guys, and she can get them to fight over her.
Shée, is that true for women in general? Do you guys like it when two guys are after you and they fight over you?
No.
I think we've asked this question of Shée before, and she said no. But Shay's different.
Yeah, Shay's different. You're a good egg.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
one.
thanks,
You're one,
guys.
You're not
You're one of the
toxic,
good
Shée.
ones.
You're not
Oh,
toxic.
cool. This isn't awkward at all.
You're a rare non-toxic female.
This is a.
Or very rare.
You guys are getting canceled so hard.
Hey, at least I'm not fucking space aliens.
Yeah. So
Not yet.
the story begins. They're wrapping up the day at the Legion of Superheroes headquarters, and Brainiac 5 is going to stick around, and he's on night duty, and everybody's going home or heading off. And we see that Saturn girl, or we see that Lightning Lad is going to take Saturn Girl out to a 3D movie, which
Wow.
apparently is still a big deal in the year 3000.
Oh, remember that was a thing for a while, and then everyone got migraines and they stopped doing it?
Yeah, it was never good because in order to do that, you had to make the movies super dim, and so everything looked like shit.
Yeah.
Garbage.
I was one of those people, like, I was fine with 3D movies, and then they changed how they did it, and I saw Batman versus Superman in 3D, and I had a 3-day migraine afterwards.
Yeah, there's the difference between a movie that is shot for 3D and a movie that is retroactively made for, like they turn it into a 3D movie, and it's a very different effect.
I saw Ghost Rider 2 in 3D, and they did such a bad job. The movie looked the same whether you had 3D glasses on or not.
I always have problems with it because I have regular glasses, and they don't.
Yeah, me
that doesn't
too.
accommodate it. It doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
They should know that the people that are going to these movies probably already have glasses, and you should probably accommodate that somehow.
I'm glad they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I think they still do, but the fad is over. Remember,
Yeah, that was so dumb.
There's a fad for 3D TVs in your house.
Yeah,
So
there
there's
was.
a bunch of saps who still sitting in their house with 3D TVs.
That's so dumb.
dumb.
No, wearing 2 pairs of glasses in any event is not fun.
Fuck that.
Right?
I like that Lightning Lad taking a bored Saturn girl to a movie looks like the memes of toxic dudes talking to women with desperate
It
Like,
does!
oh god.
It 100% does.
I know. Dude, you just made my meme for Twitter for this.
Oh, that's fucking great.
He's leaning into her and she just doesn't want to be here at all.
Dude, there's so
like,
many
well-
different ways I could do it, too.
He's twice my size, so I guess I'll just put up with it.
They eventually get married and have a kid, like all toxic relationships.
Yes. It always works out well.
Do you think the meeting was about who they got to kick out for having similar powers?
They have had those. We've looked at a Legion superhero comic not that long ago where they kind of had that discussion, where they were discussing who gets to stay in the Legion.
I love they're just like, all right, meeting's over. Who needs a ride home? They all have flight rings.
So, yeah.
She literally, one of them gets out of the car and flies into her home.
I love it, like how all the Legionnaires are like millionaires.
Right. So this is going to become a class issue. So first of all, was it Chemical King? Yeah, he takes everybody
Chemical
home.
King.
Chemical King. He's got that good gold K or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, bro, I'm the Chemical
Yeah.
King. What the fuck you talking about?
He hooks up the
James,
entire
can you just
Legion.
insert the song "I'm the Pusher" in here?
Oh,
whatever
Pusher
it's
Man?
called? Yeah.
Pusha Man. Yeah, it's in
YouTube
there.
allowed.
Yeah, anytime we're talking about a piece of music that you don't actually hear, it's because YouTube said we had to take it out and we just got rid of it.
Yeah.
But in theory, you're listening to Pusher Man right now.
Yeah, we're YouTubers now.
I think
Can't
that's the
call
only
us
reason.
Podcasters.
The only reason Chemical King gets to stay in the Legion is because you ever work with somebody who they shouldn't be there, they should have been fired long ago, but they're hooking the other employees up.
Oh, you mean me? Yeah.
So you are the Chemical King in the
Like,
Legion
yeah.
of Superheroes.
Nobody beats me.
That is your workplace. Yeah,
That was the
so,
whiz. That was the whiz.
So Chemical King is dropping people off, drops off Phantom Girl.
His name is not Chemical King, bro. You're kidding.
It says right there, Chemical King.
Oh my god, he's a king. He must be shorter than everybody else.
I like everybody else went with boy and lad. He said, you know how I can really get a leg up on these guys?
I'm the king.
Chemical King. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You gonna stop me?
Yeah.
I'm the only one with a car.
He's short king.
So he drops everybody off. Phantom Girl mentions that she's having a fourth dimensional dinner.
Yep, which means acid.
Yeah. Like they're just throwing in terms. Like again, it's a 17-year-old kid, but he's just throwing in space terms.
It's like she's like mentioning, she's talking about where her parents are visiting from, and then she has a stroke. Like it's bizguzzle.
Bizgizzle.
Yeah, she strokes out mid-sentence.
They're on different planets,
Because
whatever.
she did way too much acid.
And then Ultra Boy gets dropped off, and he swan dives into his house. Cool.
And Phantom Girl is not to be mistaken with Phantom Lady.
No, it's not Phantom Lady. Actually,
Who's me.
if you want to read about Phantom Girl, you can read the Jeff Lemire Terrifics comic, which is a pastiche of the Fantastic Four. I've mentioned it before, but it's great. It's got Mr. Terrific, and it's got Metamorpho, and it's got Phantom Girl, and it's a lot of fun.
The original Phantom Girl.
The original Phantom Girl. Actually, I think it's a variation, but yeah, fair enough. Close enough. And then Matter Eater Lad doesn't want to mention where he lives, so he
He's
tells
ashamed of being poor. That doesn't change.
He's ashamed of getting poor, but why did he accept the ride in the first place?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Like,
He
there's
could just
a-
flew home.
Like, what was the idea here? It's just like, yeah, just drop me off here. I'm gonna walk.
Yeah, I don't know why he cares about money issues when he can just eat whatever he wants.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that part of his problem is solves itself.
He could just live at the Legion headquarters and eat
eat
the
the rats.
rocks on the bottom of his shoe.
Yeah, he can just be their janitor / exterminator.
Dude, they don't even need to flush the toilets because Matter Eater Lad can take care of that.
All the pipes just go to his room.
Yeah.
Just dump on him while he's
He
sleeping.
just sucks on it like it's some golden nectar.
Just like Supergirl.
Yeah, that
Yeah, you have to
slut.
check in last week. You really have to listen to all of the Supermanuary episodes to really get the.
I demand you listen to all the Supermanuary episodes, and then all the previous episodes, and then all the future ones as
Yeah,
well.
the audio universe of Darkseid's
And
Couch.
get all your friends to do it too. But if you like comics, I mean, it's only like what, 2 people?
Well, get your waifu to listen.
Get your waifu.
your weird fanfic subreddits. Like, there's lots of friends you have.
I can tell like James is like not into all the weird subcultures of the internet. He mispronounces fucking weird shit.
It's not waifu? Is it waifu?
Yeah, it's waifu, like wife.
Like uncle?
Yeah, like uncle. You're close. That's close enough. I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
You've been practicing.
So anyway,
Yes.
speaking of practicing, I really got to get my whistling up to par.
Right, I
working
still
on
haven't
that.
been able to do it.
It's really fucking hard. We've been
I don't
trying to
think no
whistle
one
for
can do
months.
it. I don't think it's real.
I think I've seen it in real life.
Nah, it's a work.
I think I've seen it.
I think they
So-
dub it in movies and TV shows. No one's doing that shit.
So it is true that most of the Legion members live in the upper levels of the city, the planet, whatever.
They can afford superpowers.
yeah,
That's why Matter Eater Lad had a discount power where he's eating shit.
He's got a shit power, and so he lives in the slums, in the lowest level of the. I'm not sure if it's the city or if it's the entire planet or how this works, but
I think the entire planet is now one big city.
yeah, okay, sure,
Like,
fine.
this is like hell on earth. Like the world they've created is like really terrible.
The world they've created is very strange, as we're about to see, because on the one hand, it's super futuristic, and on the other hand, it's super outdated.
Yeah, he goes home and his mom is watching a 3D TV because
Yep.
This
because
is
it's
true.
She's
Not
got
this-
1,000-year-old TV. She has a TV guide, and her TV has rabbit ears.
So this is all true. This sounds like bullshit. This is all true. He comes home. His mom is sitting on the couch with a book, like a printed out book that says 3D TV program. And she's, which, the fact that it says 3D TV suggests that not all TVs are 3D in the future. So it's a fad even then.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Just
only the
some
people,
people.
on the bottom rung of society
Have
those
3D TVs.
Those
Yeah,
shitty
obviously.
TVs
Come on.
from the year 2005.
Everyone else has 4D TVs to go with their 4D meals.
Right. You can only afford 1,000-year-old TVs.
Yeah. These are literally the TVs that were produced in like
Right.
2008.
And Matter Eater Lad's mom is really sexy, but totally insane.
Oh, she has crazy
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, she's got crack eyes, as we'll see.
Yeah,
So
right?
she
Gold
starts
K eyes.
she starts badgering Matter Eater Lad for his Legion of Superheroes check because they need it desperately. Right?
And the Badger is a different character.
They do make us. The Badger is a fantastic character.
Yeah, we love the Badger.
Mike
here at
Barr,
Dark
Mike
Horse.
Barr's Badger, honestly, and that reminds me, I want to actually start picking up those traits because that is that is a genuinely good comic. Mike Barr's the Badger. That is great.
One of the artists hit us up on Twitter, and we had a conversation for the Badger.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing us the Badger.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing a little light into our lives. So, Matter Eater Lad's mother says, listen, it's hard to pay for the rent and all this kind of stuff. We don't have any money. We need your check.
How is there still money?
Because, again, it's a weird future. I don't know the choices they've made in the next 1,000 years.
There's barely a need for it now. Even now, there's an argument of how ridiculous money is at
Well,
this
yeah.
point. I
That's why
can't
we have-
imagine how they're only doing it for tradition at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're developing cryptocurrency, which I am not beyond, by the way. My opponents are saying all kinds of crazy things out there, but I am not beyond cryptocurrency.
That's funny because you just told us earlier how you didn't like crypto.
No, that was fake. That was fake news.
Well, I thought you were too good for crypto.
yeah, you're too
No.
good for crypto.
Out of context. You took
oh, you
me
like
out
it
of
with
context.
it's because that dog isn't fungible.
Yeah.
It's so fungible. It's so gross.
This is like the silliest fucking episode.
Well, they
We are
gave us
adorable.
they gave us something weird to work with here. So Matter Eater Lad says that the reason they don't have any money is because their father wastes his pension betting on the Kango Bronc races.
Yep.
And he hasn't won all year.
And it's in a fucking newspaper.
They're still printing newspapers.
They're still printing TV guides.
This is how unhinged this comic is, where even the panels themselves are skewed.
Yes, just
But
a little
not
bit.
yeah, just a little bit. Like it should be. It looks like it's almost even, but they just kind of moved it a little bit.
It might be intentional. Maybe it's intentional. So, yeah, his father shows up. He's hearing all this. And his father is your typical cliche drunken 60s dad.
Right? His shirt is half tucked in.
Which almost looks harder to do than to properly tuck it in. Or
Right.
untuck
So-
it. Like, you're going for the look now.
So are we to understand that Matter Eater Lad's parents can also eat whatever they want because they're from the same planet?
I believe so. I believe this.
Why
I
aren't
believe
they
that would be the
working as
case.
superheroes then?
Right. Why are they worried about money? when they
Because you
just
can
eat
only have
whatever?
one matter-eating person in the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, right. Yeah, but
They-
can't they utilize their matter eating powers?
No.
Like they can eat
Can't you
human
be
waste.
a superhero outside of the Legion?
No, nobody
I
else
don't see
wants
how
it.
being a matter eater
Well-
lad can be a superhero at all anyway.
First of all, okay, let me clarify two things. Number one, his father has a job. He's a drunk. Number two, we're going to find out why his mother can't have a job in a hilarious panel coming up. All right? So it's very clearly explained. All right?
very
so-
clearly explained.
It's very clearly explained why she can't work. We're going to get to that. So, his father freaks out. They get in a fight, you know. And
he doesn't hit him though.
he doesn't hit him. He threatens to.
Right, but
wants
apparently
to.
he worked for 20 years at the robot plant.
That's where they make the robots. That's
he
where
was
we're all going to be
making
living.
fucking Roombas.
Well, it closed.
Yeah. Yeah, because people realized we didn't have to make any more electronics.
No, they made him so well.
Yeah, that
They don't have
those
to-
3D TVs are still good up to this day.
God, money at this point is so fucking dumb.
It's very confusing how their economy works in the year 2000.
He's gambling away his pension. He got a pension after 20 years, dude. That's a good job.
Yeah, well, it might not have been a very good pension, but yeah, sure. Any passive income at that point is great.
Dude, a pension at all, especially now, this day and age.
Yeah, you're not getting a pension. We're all working till we're 90.
Like, what happened, like, between now and the year 2000 when they got their pensions back?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, President Ron DeSantis probably
That's right.
fixed all this stuff.
That was President Trump and Vice President Hunter Biden.
With the controversy over who's going to be the Speaker of the House, I suggested that we just let Vince McMahon be the Speaker of the House and we let Trump run the WWE.
That guy does not fucking give up.
Which one?
Vince
Yeah.
McMahon.
Yeah, neither of
Like,
them.
they ousted him. They did everything they could to get rid of him after all the horrible things he did. And he's just like, nope. Now he's going to sell the company to the fucking Saudis. Jesus Christ.
I used to wonder how people were willfully being oblivious to the real world so they get lost in the fantasy of things like the WWE. And now I see that they're exactly the same, so it doesn't really
Dude,
matter.
yes.
Like,
Yes.
there's no distinction between the WWE and the Republican Party. It's the same
This
thing.
could, I gotta say though, because like the WWE wrestling companies have been doing a lot of stuff lately with like MetaWorks, where they fake backstage issues and put it out on the internet so people will be interested in watching the show to see if that plays out in their creative.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if this whole Vince McMahon thing is a MetaWork.
That Vince McMahon is actually a saint in real life.
It's just like, what if none of that is real? What if they never kicked him out? There is no sale. Like, he's not trying to fight to get the company back. This is just so people will watch WWE to see what happens.
I mean, it's a good idea, except I have to imagine there are shareholders who would not be cool with this.
So this is weird. Like, there's two kinds of shares in the WWE. There's Class A and Class B. People with Class B shares have like 80% of the voting power. Mm-hmm. And Vince McMahon has the majority of that. So even though there's a board of directors, even though they kicked him out, they can't stop him from doing anything because he has all the voting power.
Yeah,
But that could all be a work.
It's very Trumpy. It's all very Trumpy.
Dude, I can see why they're friends.
Are they friends?
Yeah, Donald Trump's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, this seems about right. As fantasy and reality
He
just melt
put
together.
Vince McMahon's wife in his cabinet.
All right. This is too absurd. Let's get back to this completely believable comic book. In comparison, this comic book seems pretty grounded now
Yeah.
compared to what's actually going on in the real world. So, Matter Eater Lad's father says, "Well, what do you expect? You know, I'm doing my best, and your mother can't have a job." And she says she can't have a job because she gets nervous.
He's like, yeah, why can't you get a job, Mom? What the fuck? She's like, you know I get nervous.
That's literally, she says, "Oh, Tense is his real name. I couldn't, you know how nervous I am."
Dude.
That's it. That's her excuse.
Dude, that's what all lazy people say when they say they can't do something.
I have anxiety.
They just say they have anxiety. That's such horse shit. Fuck
And then
you.
she says, besides, I go through enough worry and work just running this house, and you can see in the background that the walls are all cracked up.
Yeah, she's too nervous to
Yeah.
patch up that crack from her husband punching holes in the wall.
I've
And
got
not
too
to
much
mention
anxiety.
all the bite marks from all three of them taking chunks out of the house whenever they're hungry.
They eat drywall, yeah.
It's a newspaper. That fucking is great.
He's looking at they put the racing information, the racing forms in a newspaper still.
This is fucking great though for being written by a 13-year-old.
He was 17 at this time.
Still-
But still, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
And
this is
also,
great.
It's impressive because if you look at other DC comics at the time, yeah, there weren't any character-driven dramas. It was all just kind of silly adventures, whereas Marvel was kind of making things a little more mature and putting some sort of real-life issues in there. So this was his attempt to bring that into it. So there is some credit to it, for sure.
No, I mean the previous story in this same comic was written by a grown adult.
A grown adult, and
Yeah.
he wrote a childish story, for sure.
Dorfman, my dude.
There is definitely a contrast here. Although, I mean, in fairness, Dorfman probably could have written a mature comic, but that wasn't what editorial was telling you to do at the time at DC.
He wrote a real compelling story, and they just threw it against the wall like Matter Eater Lad's dad throwing the newspaper against the door.
Make it dumber, Dorfman. Puffs on his cigar. It's got to be dumber.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, you're letting the 17-year-old kid write all the mature stories, and I'm a 43-year-old man, and I got to write this dumbass story about
I
Superman.
fought in
getting
World War
poisoned?
II.
Stupid. So Matter Eater Lad refuses to give up his check, and so his dad kicks him out, and he goes walking.
Yeah.
Takes a nice walk. He ends up back at the Legion HQ and says, hey, I guess I'll go into the headquarters, see how Brainiac 5 is doing on night duty there.
I love Brainiac 5. He's one of my favorite characters.
He's great. He's a good character.
Yeah.
But psych, it's not him.
No.
It's not. He got called away because he's got shit to do because he's a real superhero.
Yeah, he's like one of the smartest people in the universe.
Yeah. Like, they're going to call him. They're not going to call Matter Eater Lad to solve problems.
We'll let you know when we have too much to eat. You fucking jabroni.
Well, we don't want to throw out too much from the buffet.
That's why he lives in the slums. He makes the least out of the rest of the Legionnaires because he's worthless.
Yeah.
He's really sad.
Although his diet is leading to a really good physique.
He looks all right. I don't think
All
he looks
that
as good as some of the
drywall.
other ones. Yeah, maybe I should start eating drywall. See how that works out.
AKA rice cakes.
That's what I'm missing. So it turns out that Brainiac 5 was called away, and so Shrinking Violet is there instead. And Shrinking Violet is having a bad time because she was supposed to be on a date with Duplicate Boy.
And he's a total Chad.
Duplicate Boy is the hero of heroes.
Like he's like a hero of heroes. He's better than everyone else, and she is simping for him hard. And he blew her off.
Yes. Well, the one downside to Duplicate Boy is even though he can mimic the superpowers of just about anybody, the one superpower he'll never be able to experience is being a mother.
Yep. And
truest-
well,
the
it's
truest
year
superpower of all.
3000.
Yeah, who knows what's
That shit's
going
gonna be. I swear to God, in like sooner or later, changing your biological gender is gonna be an app on your phone.
Yep, and I am totally okay with
Me
that as
too.
long
I
as
think
that's what the culture says.
That's what's best.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that Strom Thurmond tape where he's standing in front of the school keeping people from coming in. Like I'm whatever society says we're doing is what I'm okay with.
What negative effect did that have on his career?
Yeah, he stuck around for a while, didn't he?
Yeah,
it
he
didn't
never
really slow him down.
Not at all. And he had a bunch of black kids.
Yeah, I'm not trying to Strom Thurmond anything. Just culture, tell me what to believe, and I will believe it.
You could be my son, but you can't go to school with me.
No. I'm cool with everything. Love is love. Yeah. So Matter Eater Lad's like, well, that's kind of rough. Why don't you just sort of simp over Duplicate Boy while I just kind of sit here like a loser and listen to your story?
Dude, I've seen so many of my friends in high school do this. Like a girl wants a better guy, and he's like, well, you could go out with me though instead. And they take her out. He spends all of his money on her. And then and then as soon as the bad boy's ready to hook up, she goes with him.
This is bad. This is really bad the way this shakes out. And again, a 17-year-old boy trying to keep his family together wrote this. So I think there's a lot of projection going on.
Well, he was probably simping.
For who?
Well, he was 17 and he was writing comics at the time. I imagine he was simping quite a bit.
No, I wonder if that's if you're 17 years old in the 60s and you're writing comic books, is that something to be proud of or ashamed of?
Yeah, you're making money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are making money. Although
And
it's
you're a
going to your-
published author. That's a big deal.
It is. Yeah, I guess so. Although all your money is going to your parents to pay for their new drywall and everything. It's like,
But back then, yeah, right? So many fist holes.
yeah.
That was hard to say for some reason.
Fist holes?
Yeah, I had to stop. I had to think about it. Fist holes.
Yeah, well, angry people definitely like putting holes in drywall. It's one of the top substances to put holes in.
Yeah, all the Kyles and the Keiths.
I've done it. I've put a couple holes in myself.
There is a plastic cup size hole in my apartment right now that I covered up with a painting.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's called the glory hole, by the way. That's what that is.
I mean,
How'd
my
that
rate.
hole happen?
I threw a cup against the wall because the dishes made too many sounds while they were clanking together in the sink, and it enraged me.
Yeah. I'm tempted to say that that's not the root of that problem. I'm tempted to say it wasn't actually
how you
the.
feeling, Mike?
Yeah.
Come on, Shay, I'm a man.
Yeah.
That's fair. I did buy entirely new keychains just because the sound of jingling keys was driving me insane.
Sometimes I get mad. I was at work the other day and I tore my boss's head off just because I blew my top.
Yeah. It's hard to contain it. There's a lot
You're
of.
not supposed to contain it. You're supposed to just channel it in a way that is not so destructive, but you still gotta let it out.
Neither of those things are. Yeah. Neither of those solutions are working though. Like throwing things at the wall and screaming at your boss. Neither of those are workable solutions.
Oh, he had it coming. I didn't scream at him. I yelled at him. I tore his head off.
Tore his head off. Seems about as
Damn
bad.
right. There was no screaming. It was a manly yell. Mm-hmm. I was assertive, and I was in a lift, so I was above him, looking down.
Oh, not like a cab.
No.
Lift.
Oh no, like
An actual.
an
Okay.
actual
Like a
lift.
scissor lift. Yeah.
Yeah.
That a man would drive
Yep.
with his rage.
You
How many
shouldn't be
raw
ra-
steaks did you eat after?
Yeah. So it's technically road rage.
How many livers did I eat like that dude?
Yeah.
How many skulls did I grind?
How many alcoholic beverages did I drink out of skulls?
We actually just bought James a shot glass in a skull.
Yeah.
All the drinking James does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a teetotaler, but Shée and I were in Ohio, and because Southwest completely destroyed our lives. And so we were driving through the country to try and get home. And we stopped off in Ohio, and I saw a Love's. And anybody who drives a lot on the road or travels a lot knows that Love's is the most awesome place to stop off for a while.
Yep.
Because it's not just like a gas station. It is like a whole. They've got showers. They've got like gift stores. They've got all kinds of cool shit there. It's a good place to hang out.
Sometimes they got really good diners there too.
They have diners. Sometimes they have arcades with like games that you can play. Like they're really cool. And I wanted a souvenir. And I found a shot glass set inside of a plastic skull, and it just says O on the front, OH, which if you know you're in Ohio, okay, it's a reference to Ohio. But me, I just like the idea it just says O on the skull's face.
It's got your pseudonym.
Yeah.
Yeah, O is one of my many pseudonyms.
What do they call it? Nom de pure?
Nom de plume. Or, yeah, nom de plume.
Nom de plume. Yeah, to
I'm
keep
not
people
smart enough to say that.
Pen
people from
name.
getting too close. Yeah.
It's worse. I tell you, it's horrible. Those arcades that don't let you play the games.
What?
Maybe you could edit that earlier to when you said it. That way it'd be funnier.
I don't know what
You're like, they got arcade games that you can play, and I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
and then like 10 minutes later, I was like, you know, it's bad.
Yeah, great. Making more work.
I like it.
I'll see if it's possible.
It was very Norm McDonald-y.
Leave
but
it
then
all
there's-
in.
Then there's no way out of it. The problem with it, see, this is if this is in the episode, like this is the problem I have all the time, is trying to like piece ththings together when nobody realizes that I then need to find a way to get out of the thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, no one notices though, which means you did a good job.
Yeah, and all it took was a lot of days of being up till 3 a.m. trying to piece shit together. That's
That's
all.
how I am about like making memes with Microsoft Paint, and then no one sees it.
Yeah, good old MS Paint, the only way to make memes. The only meme-approved software.
They're using it in the year 3000.
Well, the way things are going.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right?
All right. I think I've got the.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Yeah. All right.
appease Mike enough that we can move on. So Shrieking Violet is talking about how awesome Duplicate Boy and how Duplicate Boy is a way better man than you are.
How strong his
Maddie.
arms are, where he like presses his boner against her.
He's so strong. His costume looks so cool, and he's a redhead, which I guess is cool in the year 3000.
He's a brunette. It's a light brown.
It's a copper top.
I think he's in between.
All right, all right. But I guess he hasn't shown up for their date. They rarely ever see each other because he's so busy, because he's got hoes in different area codes.
Those were the best times of my life, is when my red hair turned more of a brown, and in that short time between when I had red hair and when I had gray hair.
No hair.
And then no hair.
Yeah. I mean, it simplifies things to just have no hair.
I mean, I did just shave it, and it feels way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is living it up while he's got his hair at this particular fantastic stage. But yeah, he's just got no time. He's not going to be able to see her, and he didn't show up for the date.
As all Chads are like.
Well, he's working his way through the dentist system. Yeah. Like he's on the second end. He's on neglect emotionally.
Oh, he's got chicks on every planet between his planet and Earth.
Yeah, it's hard to juggle all that.
Right, and that's why she wants him. Other women want him.
She knows how to play the game.
Yep,
but who doesn't know how to play the game is Mad Eaterlad.
Now he's just like, well, I got all this money I need to feed my family. I guess I'll spend it on this lady.
So yeah, he asks her out, and she reluctantly says, well, I got nothing else to do.
She doesn't reluctantly. She's just like, you will, thank you. Spend all your money on me.
She's playing the thing. She knows that Duplicate Boy is going to see all this, and she's just working him against the other guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Shrinking Violet calls in, what was her name? Princess Projectra? Yeah, Princess Projectra.
And she's talking shit about Matter Eater Lad.
She is talking shit, and you know that Shrinking Violet wants to giggle too. Like
she's just like, don't say that. He's a very nice boy, and he's my friend, capital F.
He's a good friend. He's like a brother.
I'll never suck his dick. But then she's just like, no, you don't understand. He's called Matter Eater Lad. Think about it. She's like, oh.
Well, yeah, but you don't want him to actually he's going to physically eat her vagina because he doesn't understand limits. Like, he's not going to.
Yeah, this is the start of a horror movie.
And he's clearly never done it before.
Yeah, he's going to bite it. He's going to bite it off.
Look at him open up his wallet in front of her, and she's just glancing at it, pretending to cry.
Oh my god!
I get to get a nice dinner out of this.
And then she goes to put on her makeup, and she doesn't remember how to do it, and so she has to look at the instruction tape.
And she sets it to tramp. She has to look good for Duplicate Boy whenever he shows up to claim what's his.
He's gonna show up. You believe me. Mm-hmm. So they get all dressed up, and Projectra's still trying to stick it to Mad Eater Lad for being a loser, being a
She's
sap.
just like, boy, have a good time on your date with Shit Eater. She's like, don't call him Shit Eater.
Just because he literally eats shit sometimes.
She's like, I'm kidding. Not really.
That's not okay.
Look at that. He spent all that. And then he rents a car and a robot driver for them because he's a fucking mega simp.
So he rented
that's his real Legion power. He should be called fucking Simp Lad.
He rented a Jetsons car with a robot named C-31, which is clearly just a guy in a robot costume.
And here we can see the electric car craze never caught on because this thing has crazy exhaust.
It does. It's smoke plumes everywhere.
It's like gas. It's a gas-powered car.
Yeah.
So
the fucking robot has a smokestack.
It's just chickadee, chickadee, chickadee bang as it goes into the sky.
What was it? The tuk-tuks?
Yeah, it's a
Cars?
tuk-tuk. Yeah.
Right. And what's her name? Doesn't want to get on it.
Courtney's just being a bitch about it.
Yeah, right.
Diesel-powered tuk-tuk.
Matter Eater Lad should have stayed on his level and went out with Courtney.
Yeah, they can both sit at home and not do anything exciting ever.
She's like, oh, I couldn't be in a flying car.
Yeah.
Okay. And they go to a restaurant called Zardy's, which is just a year 3000 version of Hardee's.
Yes, so they go to Zardy's, and this guy in a robot costume, C-31, decides that he's just going to wait for them to be done.
It's me. That's my job.
Just
in the future. The year 3000, I'm an old man in a robot costume driving a gasoline-powered flying car.
You know what? Yep. I wonder if it's Duplicate Boy in disguise spying on this whole thing.
Right?
It's even the color's even kind of right.
Oh shit! Yeah, that would make a lot of sense because he
That's
just
him.
fucking shows up.
Yeah.
He's just been keeping an eye on this whole thing.
He goes,
What a
"Thank you,
dick
C3."
move.
And he's just like, "Yeah, thank you, thank me." Yeah. He's all
Oh,
pissed off.
he's so good at this. And so they have some food, they eat, and Lad starts complimenting the actual food, like the real human being food. Not
He's like,
human.
"Wow, this is way better than those scraps of wood I've been eating."
Yeah, and she calls him out on it. She mentions that, like, yeah, don't you normally eat rocks? Hey, Garcon, Chef Flintstone over here likes the food. You must be very proud.
Hey,
he
go get a
normally eats
ladle.
rocks, you see.
Go scoop out that log from the toilet.
This fucking loser I'm out
It's
here
good enough for this guy
with. So
with
she
his
gives-
fucking necklace. What's up with that? You look like an idiot.
He's got 1970s style with a big medallion.
He's just like, it's like he thinks that dressing as Dr. McCoy from Star Trek is a good idea for a date.
You know, he's got a little pompadour. He looks great.
He's like, he literally has the Star Trek symbol on it. She's like, so I take it you like Star Trek.
Oh,
He's
let
like,
me tell
yeah,
you.
I'm a huge fan.
Let me tell you about the different rankings.
And you can hear her vagina drying up.
Yeah. So she gives him the opening to tell her his sob story, and he then spends the entire night telling her everything we've seen so far about his shitty family.
And she's like, oh, you're poor?
Oh, I didn't
So I
realize.
thought this. I have to go back. Sorry, I thought this sounded familiar. There's a restaurant in New York City that's been around forever called Sardi's. Sardi apostrophe S.
And they
That is what
only-
a reference this
They
is.
only sell food that's made from sardines.
Do you think this is the future evolution of that restaurant?
It's the space
It looks
sardines.
like a kind of like a diner mixed with a restaurant.
Hey, look, they got that golden nectar shit.
Oh yeah, they got nectar of Venus is what they're drinking.
That's exactly what.
Oh,
That's exactly what Supergirl was sucking down.
Have some of our space
hentai-ly.
pea. Yeah, have some space pea. It's our best food. It's the thing we like the most.
Golden nectar. It's pea. It's mixed with cum. That's the one.
So-
It's a fucking commercial.
Well, you know, when you've got a product that good, you don't have to worry about the advertising too much. So they wrap up their dinner, and they get in their car, and Shrinking Violet desperately wants to go home at this point.
Oh yeah.
Eager to
So
get
it's like
this
a
over
weird
with.
cuck game because she's looking at the robot like she knows that.
Yeah, she knows it's really
She knows that
Boy.
duplicate boy is in there.
Yeah, like, ah,
And he's looking back at them like, I'm going to fucking end your whole world, dude.
I'm gonna destroy him.
This is like a weird game. She takes
Maybe
like,
he's a cuck.
she takes nerds out and they pay for everything and then
Yeah.
Duplicate Boy shows up and beats him up and she goes home with Duplicate Boy.
Yeah, I mean that's we've still got a few pages to go, but that's really what happens here.
Yeah.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
So they decide. Mad Reader Lad decides they're gonna go dancing. The date's not over yet.
Yep.
It
Yep.
was the
She's
most fun he's
"Wow,
ever had in his life."
dancing.
Yes.
That'll make me really moist for Duplicate Boy, not you.
Yeah, that'll really lube me up good.
She's like, what are you wearing, a
And,
skirt?
Yeah, he is wearing a weird
It's like a tunic.
Like a tunic. Yeah, he's wearing a tunic over his blue tights.
He's like when Link has to go to a water temple.
Yeah, well, you don't want water getting up in there. He's got to put on his compression tights.
I tell you what's never gonna get wet up in there is fucking
Yeah, Shrinking Violet. Yeah.
Shrinking Violet's vagina dancing with fucking
Yeah.
what's his name, Shit Eater.
So the night ends. They've had a great time, and then they decide to have a kiss right at the last moment here.
Yeah, and then Duplicate Boy's robot costume short circuits and he dies.
No, that's not quite what happened.
It's a made-up tale.
So Duplicate Boy shows up, and he is furious about this.
Yes.
Duplicate Boy, he rips off like some sort of like a piece of art that was on the lawn, like
He's
lawn
like
art
I think it's
statue.
like a light pole.
So I guess he just kept like super strength. He just keeps that one on default when he's not using any of the other
Yeah, just
powers.
to beat up nerds.
Might as well. Yeah, he had to swing by Earth and pick up some of the Superman super strength.
I wonder how many times they've done this.
This game, the three of
Shrinking
them,
Violet and Duplicate Boy like
they find some
scamming
guy.
nerds
Yeah.
and having kinky sex afterwards.
Yeah. Mad Eater Lad definitely wasn't aware that this was happening.
No.
No. And so Duplicate Boy says he's going to end Mad Eater Lad. He's going to murder him.
He's like, hey, you might be able to beat me up, but there's one thing you'll never be able to do that I can do, and that's eat shit.
Shrinking Violet reminds him he can do literally anything you can do, and then on top of that, literally anything else.
So she kisses like matter eaterlad, and she pulls away real quickly. She goes, "Oh, it tastes like shit."
It's strange. I didn't think I ate shit today.
It's like, oh, he's eating shit now.
So he starts off pretty well. I got to give him the first panel. He says, it's not worth cringing. There's no point. I'm not going to cringe. If you're going to kill me, you're going to kill me, but I'm not going to back down. So, all right, he's doing okay so far.
Yeah, he's like, if you hurt me, she's going to hate you.
Mm-hmm. Not
And
true.
He's just like, that's not true. I hurt guys all the time, and she loves me.
So, yeah, now his argument's starting to fall apart. So then he explains that there's no way that he's gonna win by having a fight, by attacking Matter Eater Lad. And then Duplicate Boy, for a second, I guess this is part of the game, he actually says the mighty Duplicate Boy defeated by words.
Yep.
Which is strange.
Yeah, but then she's like, no, you didn't lose me. I love you. And he kisses her and goes, you taste like Matter Eater Lad.
Yes. So in theory, at this point, Duplicate Boy was just prepared to leave, in theory.
Gross. She kissed another guy.
Yeah. Just a minute ago.
And now she's like, this is fucking bad.
Well, I mean, and under different circumstances, this would be fine if that's what they're all into. But the point is, this is a weird exploitive game.
Dude,
Yeah.
Shrinking Violet belongs to the streets.
I mean, these guys, they've got some fucked up psychology.
She's a hoe.
These are three damaged people who are all going to go home and throw cups at their walls and then
Yep.
refuse to do anything about it and deal with it in a healthy way.
I felt better.
Yeah, for a minute. And then you got a hole in your wall that you have
I
to
don't give a
cover up
fuck.
with a
There's
picture.
no security deposit. I don't give a shit.
You put a picture on top of it. It's like the telltale heart. Like that's your unresolved psychological issues just thumping there in the wall.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. So
Good to be mad.
Yeah. Ooh. So in theory, Duplicate Boy is about to leave, and then Shrinking Violet says, No. I love you. I want you back. I was just mad that you weren't here when you were supposed to be here, and fuck this
Blame
guy.
it on the rain.
She's like,
that
I just
song.
wanted to go out to dinner and dancing, so I got the simp to do it. You can do the
get
fun parts.
You get the good stuff.
And he's just like, I'm out of money because of this.
He paid for everything, right? Oh, of course he paid for everything.
Of course he did. Look at this. Look at this dress.
Now, there's this panel here where they're just like nuzzling up face to face. Matter Eater Lad hasn't left. He's still standing 3 feet away watching this.
Yep. As his dick gets smaller and smaller.
Oh, this is pathetic.
He's like, I can't wait to go home and eat some shit.
Yeah, and Shrinking Violet looks at his dick and goes, Oh, I thought I was the one that did the shrinking. Yeah.
What a fucking loser.
Completely emasculate this fucking loser. So then we don't see then it just cuts to the final two panels, and it's a bizarre two panels.
And Brainiac 5 is just like, hey, Matter Eater Lad, I saw all that. That was weak.
We're gonna keep you in the Legion, but only to mock you.
Like, bro, I just cut your pay.
So
Tell your dad to gamble a little less harder, am I right? He knows all about
yeah,
it.
start doing some better picks here.
He's like, I'm
So-
Brainiac 5. I don't give a shit.
Brainiac 5 throws him a letter. Like, they're still using the Postal Service 1,000 years in the future, apparently.
Yeah, right? How come they don't have smartphones in their brains? Like, that's the thing. That's the most unbelievable thing about this.
They went back to maybe because they're young and they're hipsters, and so they like that analog retro feel of a letter in the mail.
What year was this made?
1969.
I don't think they could possibly have imagined like smartphones.
Jack Kirby did.
And like internet and shit.
Kirby was like 2 years away from the fourth world where they had mother boxes, which are just smartphones.
Yep.
I'm like, so Matter Eater Lad gets a letter in the mail at Legion headquarters, and he opens it up, and he says, "Oh, my parents, they want me to come home. They see how wrong they were. They're going to change. Pop's even given up gambling."
Sure he did.
Yep.
What if it
Believe
was
that.
what if it was a letter from Shrinking Violet and it was a photo of her fucking duplicate lad or whatever?
Oh my God.
Like, highlight the male simp.
And as we all know, when people say they're going to clean up their act, once they say they're going to change, they definitely do it.
Always.
Always happens.
She like runs back to Matter Eater Lad. She goes, Duplicate Boy went back home and I'm all alone. Can you take me out again?
Did you get your check yet? Again? You still waiting on the check? Do you get you? But you have some in savings, right?
Dude,
You have
I can't
something.
believe it's the year 3000. He still has to pay for the whole date.
Oh my God, it's so
Dude.
pathetic. And so
Dude.
the story ends with him reading this letter full of lies and horseshit from his horrible, abusive parents. That
As soon as he gets home, his dad's gonna beat the shit out of him with a belt.
he's completely buying it. He's smiling. He's happy. He's completely buying it. And then Shrinking Violet walks by and says, "Oh, I'm so glad."
I'm so glad everything worked out for you, poor, I mean, matter eater lad.
Sure. God, and that's how it ends.
Shitter eater lad.
They don't even address what just happened to him the previous night.
Right, that's a bad fucking night. You have a great day with this chick, and her boyfriend just shows up and takes her.
Yep. And then you see her the next day at work, and
At
she's
work.
just
Wait a-
icing you.
You do not hook up with people at work ever.
No.
This was bad. And
I
that's
used
how
to
the
do
story
that, but I
ends.
would always force whoever I was with to secrecy. Like they weren't allowed to even bring it up at work that we were,
Yeah,
we were
you
hooking
would
up.
threaten them. You'd point to that hole in your wall and say, "That's going to be your face."
That's gonna
if
be
you say
your
a
face,
word."
but that just makes them like me even more.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking issues with this right
There's
now.
a lot of shrinking violets out there. And those are the three kinds of people you can be. You can be shrinking violet, you can be mad or lad, or you can be duplicate boy. Those are
Fuck
the
yeah,
three,
always be duplicate boy.
those are the
Always
three
be
things you
duplicate
can be.
boy. Always be Brainiac 5, really.
He's above all of this.
He's the Sigma male.
He stands aside from all of this, and he just can't believe people's bullshit.
That's why he's giving it the thumbs up to everything.
Yeah.
He looks like he's sticking his thumb up the word Legion's ass.
Fuck this place.
Look at that. There's
Fuck.
Legion. He's just shoving his thumb up there.
Oh my goodness. That's how this ends.
Yep, the end.
Wow. This was one of my favorite things we've ever read.
Yeah, this is great.
This Legion story was unbelievable. The
It, was
amount
all
of
the,
twists
it, had,
and turns.
it had all the toxic things we love.
There's so much. This was definitely a Dark Side's Couch approved comic. For
10
sure.
out of 5 stars.
10 out of
dude.
5.
This whole like Supermanuary has been all like very Dark Side's Couch approved comics.
Yes.
Because the wheel provides. It really does.
Hit after hit. Hit after hit. What do we think of this?
I love this comic.
So
Yeah.
good.
I really did like it. I have to say, I do think the Superman story is pretty lame. I didn't think that one worked at all. That really
Dude,
brought
this
it
story
down
being
for me.
written by a 17-year-old, like this is a word of warning to like other kids out there reading this. Like a kid warning other kids to not be simps.
Yeah. Clean it
And
up.
don't be a shitter eater.
And don't trust your parents. They're lying to you about everything.
Your parents are pieces of shit.
They don't care about you. They had you when they were 20. They don't know. Yeah, I love the Legion story. Didn't care for the Superman story. So it's just going to balance out to 4 out of 5 disrespected flags.
Bullshit.
Yeah, fuck your flag.
Fuck your flags. No, if it was just the Legion story, that's a 5 out of 5 for sure.
But Alf is 5 out of 5.
Yes, 100%. That was the most Dark Side's
Alf-
Couch approved comic.
Elf got an extra point for being full of Christmas cheer.
Yep. Yep.
Bullshit.
Alf is great. We all love Alf.
Yep. He's my favorite Legionnaire.
Well, this has been going well. And I think it's time to figure out how we're going to wrap up Supermanuary.
Yeah.
I think that we need to consult the almighty wheel,
The almighty wheel. Look at all
which
this
they
cool
worshipped
stuff we've
on
got there.
Krypton.
We've got let me clean this up a little bit because we've got 2 entries for 90s Electric Superman, which I'm gonna give it a chance.
Which
but
means
it's
it
only
won't
one.
land on it.
Which means I deleted
Which
one.
means
of
we're
them.
going to get one more Silver Age batch.
We probably will. Most of them are goofy Silver Age nonsense. We've got a couple issues of Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane. We've got some World's Finest.
We've got 4 other issues of Action Comics.
It's
though.
probably going to be another issue of Action Comics.
I'm
so
hoping it's World's Finest because it'll help my Twitch stream about Supermanuary.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I
yeah.
got a movie for that.
So as always, we're going to listen to some spin-in music, but this month we kind of went against the normal trope of playing a spinning song, and we're just playing songs about Superman that are from my personal life, that I've experienced, songs that I actually went out and bought and paid for with my money, and we've been going in reverse chronological order, and we're back to into the teenage years. 1997 or 1998, I was 14 or 15, while Jim Shooter was writing comic books at that age. This is what I was doing.
I thought you were going to say like you weren't born yet.
I was born in 2006. That is true, but the timeline gets really confusing.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm a young buck. Don't worry about it. Numbers can be confusing. They can lie.
So can James.
So yeah, I was 14 or 15, And I was listening to 89X, which is the local alt rock station in Detroit, although it was out of Ontario. And I would listen to this and I would play Tomb Raider 2 on the PlayStation 1.
Dang, pointy boobs.
Yeah, God help us all. Yep. Canadian alt rockers Our Lady Peace, Superman's Dead. I was into that at the time.
I had their live album. Hell yeah.
It hasn't aged well. It hasn't aged well.
Oh,
but I was
it's fine. Our Lady Peace is great.
Yeah.
I mean-
Clumsy? Clumsy's
Yeah,
a
Clumsy
fucking
rips.
Listen, I had those first like 4 records, and I knew every song on those first like 4 records. But
I
they
was
just
a
haven't
total
aged
simp
super
for all
well.
these bands, like all these 90s alt rock bands. In Chicago, we had Q101, and I
Yeah,
listened
we
to that
did.
every day.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I would play my Tomb Raider 2, which nostalgia tells me is the greatest game ever made.
I would listen to Q101 and read Black and White Ninja Turtle comics.
I would listen to this music and go on dates.
On the date?
Did you like go out with the simp and then go home with Duplicate Lad? Duplicate King?
Yeah, I bypassed all this and just went out with Chemical King.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's where we're all going to end up anyway. It's fine.
Fuck yeah,
All right, well, we can definitely spin to this.
Yeah, let's
God
do
help
it.
us all. Let's see how we're ending up Supermanuary here. All right,
see what we
here we
get.
go. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
So
They're all insane. All
This-
of these are insane. I
I
don't know
love
which
it.
one this is, but it's gonna be fucked up.
It's not Action Comics. It's Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane issue 5.
Oh,
All
God.
right.
Oh God.
Okay, let me look this up.
Let's see what happens.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. I thought this was the one where Lois turns into a black lady, but it's even
No,
better.
that's
Oh.
too problematic. This is from 1958. Another Kurt Swan cover.
Sweet. Thank you, Kurt Swan.
Sweeping it. This is. I feel bad about this.
Oh boy.
So
Yes.
this
I'm
is
so happy.
this is extremely dated. I don't even want to talk about what's on this cover. I feel so bad about this.
I'll
So-
say it. Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, and featuring Lois Lane as the fattest girl in Metropolis.
All right. Shée
She's
is
not even
giggling.
that-
Shée is
she's-
giggling. She's pretending she's not, but she's giggling.
She's not even.
I'm not giggling as much as just dreading what this will be. But you know what? Considering how much racist bullshit we managed through, I think we can do it.
Right. And in fairness, there are, I think, 3 stories in this.
She doesn't even look like a fat lady. She looks like a power lifter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she looks fine.
Like her waist isn't all that big.
Yeah. So Lois Lane has put on some weight, and Superman is creeping around the corner watching.
Yeah, because he's into it.
Yeah, which is fine. Which is totally fine.
He hit her with
But,
a ray that turned her into a traditional Kryptonian woman.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, she's looking in a mirror. She says, "I'd like to be like I look in this reflection in this trick mirror." And in the mirror, there's a thin version that looks like Shée.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Shay's the trick version.
You're a trick, Shea. You hear that? You just
Hey, I'm a cheap trick.
Well, you can either be skinny Lois Lane or you could be shrinking Violet, who's a horrible person.
or you could be a power lifter Lois.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Maybe this is going to surprise us. Maybe there's some good things in there. Maybe there's some real body positivity messages. It was approved by the Comics Code.
I assure you, there is no body positivity in this fucking comic, bro.
We're gonna bring it to it. We're gonna
have to.
It looks like there are 3 stories, and the third one is actually about Lois Lane, so we can warm up with Superman's greatest sacrifice and then the girl of 1,000 costumes.
His greatest sacrifice was he laid down with a fat lady.
No. It's perfectly fine if that's what people are into.
Absolutely.
Perfectly fine. We're already in danger of all sorts
done
of
it.
consequences. I think every woman is beautiful in their own way.
I disagree, but okay. Listen to Matterly Eater Lad over here.
Yep. Still has a job in the future, lad. More like it.
Hey, I'm gonna be wearing a robot suit, driving around renting cars.
All right. I think that's pretty good. That's how we're going to wrap up Supermanuary next week.
Perfect.
Shée, do you have some plugs to get us out of here, please?
Yeah. Listen to our previous Superman episodes on Stitcher, Apple Podcast, Spotify, any other podcast app during Supermanuary and beyond. And be sure to subscribe to us while you're there. You can also listen on darksidescouch.com. And then after you go and look up all the flags on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, look up and subscribe to Dark Side's Couch as well.
I think that's it. Anybody got any final thoughts to get us out of here?
I can't wait to see the panel of Superman laying on top of Fat Lois.
Shée? Yep. Ta-ta for now, Cushion Crusaders. We'll talk to you next week on the couch. All right, heroes of Lalor, settle down. It is I, your superior duplicate boy. Now, I know the tale of my intergalactic conquest of Shrinking Violet of the Legion of Superheroes has been making the rounds, and I can't blame you for spreading the word or for getting a little excited. It's truly an erotic journey unlike any other. So, as a gracious service to you, my comrades, I've decided to impart the wisdom of my insatiable libido using a system I learned from a 21st century Earth television show that was mercifully never broadcast in shitty 3D, am I right? Yeah, we're not poor. Now then, first off, you're going to want to demonstrate your value. Engage in a horrifying battle with the Legion of Superheroes. Let her get to see how you use those powers to easily outmaneuver her beta teammates. Put on a show, make a spectacle of it, right? Once you've done that, you're ready to move on to E. Engage physically. Make an excuse to swing by the Earth's moon when you know she'll be there all alone, looking for some comfort out in the frigid, icy tundra of space where no one can hear your screams. Afterwards, you're going to N. Nurture dependence. Schedule a proper date, but insist that you're going to come to her planet. See, this puts her in the position of having to wait on you, which means she won't be able to do much of anything really until you show up. Without even realizing it, she's become completely dependent on you to guide her. Now, at this point, you're actually going to pivot. You're going to pull back, which is our second N, neglect emotionally. Maybe you can't make it to your date because you got pulled away to deal with some sort of cosmic crisis. Maybe you don't even have the time to call her and let her know you might not make it. Now, you may be worried that this could lead her into the arms of some sap with his Legion paycheck burning a hole in his pocket, but to this I say good. Let him take her out, spend his space money, you know? And don't worry about losing her, because you're never going to be far from her mind, especially once I inspire hope. Show up at the end of her little date, letting her know that you never stopped thinking about her, that you've been watching this entire time, desperately trying to get back to her, ready to create a loving future with her, and her alone. Hey, and here's a time-saving bonus. She's already been out all night, courtesy of the simp, so at this point, she's ready to head straight to her quarters for a night of the sort of passionate, tender lovemaking whose legend will span the entire universe for millennia to come. Afterwards, you'll quietly fly out the window and out of her life altogether as you separate entirely.
Oh, yeah? And I remember it.